Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, St. Catherine bus conductor freed of sex crimes involving teen girl. A bus conductor who was accused of having sexual intercourse with a teen girl was on Wednesday freed in the St. Catherine Parish Court. Heron Byfield was charged with having sexual intercourse with someone under age 16, sexual grooming of a child, and a grievous sexual assault. In court, it was argued that a prima facie case could not be made, as the statement in the matter does not clearly state if the alleged offense occurred before or after the complainant reached the age of 16. As a result, the accused, who hails from Grove Farm in Bushy Park, St. Catherine, was freed by the presiding judge. Allegations are that the complainant was reported missing by her parents in January 2024. In May, the complainant, who ran away from home, was found in the company of the accused. He was arrested by members of the Center for Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse following an interview. He had maintained his innocence throughout his court appearances. Westmoreland police thought increased gun seizures amid anti-gang fight. 30 illegal firearms have been seized in the Westmoreland Police Division since January, an increase of 12 when compared with the corresponding period last year. 14 of the firearms, including 7 high-powered military-grade assault rifles, were seized in the last 3 weeks. Alongside the firearms, more than 460 rounds of ammunition have been seized, marking a 5% increase over the similar period in the previous year. Commanding officer for the Westmoreland Division, Superintendent Othniel Dobson, said a key factor in these successes has been the consistent targeting of the notorious Kings Valley gang. Superintendent Dobson said this gang has been a significant source of illegal weapons and violence in the parish. He said recent intelligence-driven operations against the gang have not only resulted in the recovery of illegal firearms and ammunition, but have also led to numerous arrests. Superintendent Dobson said these arrests have been crucial in weakening the gang's hold on the community and disrupting their criminal activities. This positive result, he added, is an indication that Westmoreland is not a safe haven for criminals and that the police will continue efforts to apprehend those responsible for criminal activity.
The recent surge in weapon seizure demonstrates our strategic focus and unwavering resolve to protect our communities. The message is clear. Criminals will not find a safe haven here in Westmoreland. Our message to criminals is simple. Westmoreland is not a place for you. We will not tolerate any form of criminal activity, and we will do everything in our power to bring those responsible to justice.
2 wounded in St. Ann gun attack. Detectives in St. Ann are investigating a gun attack on 2 men on the Discovery Bay Main Road in St. Ann on Tuesday evening. The victims sustained bullet wounds and are being treated at hospital. It is reported that about 7:45 p.m., the men were traveling in a recently purchased Toyota Mark X motorcar with no registration plates affixed. On reaching a section of the Discovery Bay Main Road in the vicinity of Discovery Bauxite Company, formerly Noranda, a silver Toyota Premium motor vehicle drove up and blocked the path of the Mark X, forcing it to a halt. Men alighted the Premium and started firing in the direction of the Mark X. The 2 male occupants were shot. They were later assisted to hospital. Jubilation for some as the Vybz Kartel and the co-accused freed. Prison walls will no longer separate Vybz Kartel and his 3 co-accused, Sean Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John, from the streets of Waterford in Portmore, St. Catherine. This after Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop ordered that a retrial was not on the cards for the men. The ruling was handed down Wednesday afternoon in the Court of Appeal in downtown Kingston, granting freedom and bringing an end to a decade-long legal battle for dancehall artist Adidja Vybz Kartel Palmer and his co-accused Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre Madustos St. John. The men were in 2014 convicted for the 2011 murder of Clive Lizard Williams. Kartel and his co-accused had petitioned the court outlining their case for their liberty after the UK-based Privy Council quashed their convictions on March 14 this year, and they sent the matter back to the local courts to determine if a retrial should be ordered. Delivering the ruling, Justice MacDonald Bishop outlined the factors that influenced the unanimous decision. They included the insufficient and inadequate account by the prosecution for the availability of its witnesses and the trial exhibits, the time, expense, and impact on court resources, the lapse of time between the commission of the alleged offense and the likely time for a new trial to take place, which the court estimated to be at least 15 years, as well as the psychological and medical effect a retrial would have on the men. Listing the considerations in favor of a retrial, Justice MacDonald Bishop cited the egregious nature and the seriousness of the offense, the prevalence of murder in Jamaica that features the case bear every hallmark of a deliberate attack on and the barefaced defiance of law and order involving allegations relating to illegal firearms, an alleged killing in which the body of the deceased has not been retrieved, and an interference with a crime scene while it was under the control of the police. The court also considered other factors, including the much debated issue of publicity, but said this was neither for nor against a retrial. After weighing all considerations, the Court of Appeal decided to enter an order of acquittal for the men. Kartel and the two others were released from prison on Wednesday afternoon. The fourth, Kahira Jones, remains behind the bars as he is serving an 18-year sentence in a separate matter. Following the ruling, Kartel's attorney Isata Buchanan credited God for the win. "You cannot do anything without God. That's where I stand," he said, adding that he was happy for the appellants. It was a carnival-like atmosphere on King Street in downtown as the news of the ruling spread. "Me nah lie, me glad, me happy," said Sandy, a self-styled local supporter of the artist. "A long time now them fi free the boss, and me thank the court system," she declared. Meanwhile, attorney Bertha Samuels, who represented Sean Campbell before the Privy Council, said that the Court of Appeal had no other choice but to order the release of Vybz Kartel and his co-accused. He noted that the Court of Appeal, when it heard arguments in the case, had questioned the track record of matters set for retrial and how soon those matters were actually retried. And the statistics were not looking good for the prosecution. Therefore, when the court did the balancing act of looking at the seriousness of the offense, but also the rights of the accused and the fact that the law has changed and the sentences for murder is much more now than when Kartel stood trial in 2014, the court seemed to have had no choice based on local conditions, the constitutions, the rights of the accused, the mental state of the accused, and the fact that they were not responsible for any of this happening, Mr. Samuels argued. He said Wednesday's ruling will have far-reaching implications for future cases. In a statement on Wednesday evening, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions said it is awaiting a summary and a full written decision from the Court of Appeal before commenting. Government committed to eradicating child trafficking, Cuthbert Flynn says. State Minister for National Security, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, says that the government is committed to eradicating child trafficking. Minister Flynn says the nation must prioritize child protection, bolster legislation, improve law enforcement, and allocate more resources to combat child trafficking. She says the prevention efforts should target root causes such as poverty and inequality to reduce children's vulnerability. To date, she says there are 10 child-friendly spaces across the island for interviewing and assisting child victims, 3 operational 24-hour hotlines to report the cases of human trafficking through the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency, the Office of the Children's Advocate, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Minister Flynn added that the government is actively implementing the National Referral Mechanism and the guiding framework for interviewing child victims and witnesses using a child-friendly, trauma-informed approach to avoid re-traumatizing child victims. The state minister was speaking at the Trafficking in Persons Youth Panel Symposium held at the University of Technology, Jamaica, in observance of World Day Against the Trafficking in Persons. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.